or I always like doing this at the very end of the year, is look at the movies I liked but critics didn't like, and what movies the critics liked and I didn't like. And so let's give you my top 5 underrated and overrated movies of 2023. Chase Leaki here with the Blue Futon, and I'll give you the underrated and overrated movies of 2023. In my opinion, you might disagree. You will probably disagree, and I'm okay with that because we all have different opinions, and I think that's good and makes the world go round. So I think what's more fun is talk about the underrated movies, in my opinion, where I gave positive reviews, but the critics are in the negative. And when I said 5, I'm going to give you a, what's it called? Why am I drawing a blank? Nominations, not nominations, participation trophies for the people that didn't make the list. And for the one for underrated, in my opinion, is Nefarious. Nefarious has a 33% Rotten Tomato. Is this a fantastic movie? No, but it's a thinking man's movie that makes you think of what's going on in the world today. It does have religious elements to it. There is a pretty gruesome electrocution scene, but I do think overall it talks about where we're going with the society today, what people think are really going on in the world. Are they in their own bubble? So I do think Nefarious isn't worthy of the 33%. It should be in the positives, but I completely understand why people did not like this film. And number 5, like I said, this is going off by Rotten Tomatoes scores being the lowest, and I don't think it should be that low. So for this one, the highest on the list is Strays. Okay, this is a funny freaking movie with Jamie Foxx, Will Ferrell. It is freaking hysterical. Yes, a lot of dick jokes. Yes, a lot of shit jokes. Yes, a lot of fucking jokes. I don't care. I had a blast. These talking dogs were funny. The dialogue was funny. It was a quick 90 minutes. Had a good storyline overall with dogs wanting humans or vice versa. But my goodness, I laughed throughout this film. A lot of people in my movie laughed throughout this film. I remember watching it. I don't understand why it's at 53%. I think it should be more in the 70s range. Maybe some people just need to get that stick out of their booty hole. All right, number 4 when it comes to critics is Transformers Rise of the Beast. This has a 52% according to critics. Yes, is this the best Transformers movie? No. I still prefer the first 3. I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed them. I would say this is probably the 4th best. Then it goes the one in Hong Kong. And the 5th one isn't the great. Oh, I mean, I'm not considering Bumblebee. Bumblebee is really up there as well. But Rise of the Beast, I was scared to go into it. I will not lie. Yes, Pete Davidson, I was a little nervous too. He wasn't that bad. But overall, it was a fun blast. It had a good environment of going to Peru, had nonstop action, had good story elements, had good connecting elements to Bumblebee and what could come in the future. Did it deserve that 52%? No, but I do think critics are on their high horses when it comes to most of the Transformers movies overall. All right, number 3 is Operation Fortune, Ruse Guru, if I'm saying that wrong, which I probably am. It's the Guy Ritchie movie with Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Carrie Ooze, also Josh Hartnett, and Hugh Grant. Fantastic movie. It had the humor, had the Guy Ritchie elements to it. I had a blast with this movie. I don't know why people didn't like it. Yes, Covenant also came out, and that's a vastly superior Guy Ritchie movie, but it's a very different Guy Ritchie movie. Like, this one was more on the styles of Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, had the silliness to it, the fun story elements to it, and the Guy Ritchie just overall shenanigans ensues. Why is it 51%? No freaking clue. I enjoyed myself. Like I said, I think with some of these, sticks need to come out of the butts, but when it comes to the higher end ones, I think people have the pinkies up for those. But I'm on number 2 when it comes to critics. And this is a Japanese movie, probably not a lot of people have seen. It's called Remember. It's about, a cycle in high school, and these high schoolers keep dying, and they won't not stop dying unless they figure out why they're dying. Yes, I like the gore. I like the Japanese elements to it. When it comes to Japanese gore, it kind of goes on a different level, and you kind of feel it with this movie. It had the dark material to it. I think it's based off a manga, but I had a blast with this one. This was on Netflix. Gory, high scores, Japan. bonkersness ensues. What can go wrong? But it does have a 50% according to critics. And I think also the users as well. I just don't know why. Have some fun sometimes. And the number one movie, which a lot of people did not like, the Jennifer Lopez movie, Mother. The Mother on Netflix. This is a very grounded movie with realistic gunplay, realistic-ish action in the Alaskan wilderness. I truly enjoyed this one. I don't know what people are thinking. It's literally about a mother trying to save the daughter's life, but trying to give the daughter the best life possible and saying, you know what? If you want to survive in the real world, it's time to nut up or shut up. And Jennifer Lopez is a fantastic job in this movie. It reminded me of her in Out of Sight with George Clooney, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Yes, it's a little bit different, but the wilderness felt real. Her acting felt real. The story was grounded. I truly liked what this was doing with the overall elements of the movie. Don't know why it got panned. That's the one where, according to critics, though, it is the worst on the list. That's not what I gave it reviewing-wise. That is what the critics gave it again. Now I'm going to do the reverse with the overrated. This is where, the 99% is going to be the number one. It might not be in my order, but it's by the critics. Honorable mention, The Little Mermaid. Yes, it's at a 67%. That was overlong, overbearing, weird CGI, added elements to the story that didn't need to be added, took story elements out that didn't need to be added, like the whole part of her can't remember why she's on the land. Why take that out? She already can't freaking speak. Something stupid. But hey, let's continue on. Number 5, Scream 6. 76% with the audience, with the critics. I think it's in the 90s with the audience. Are you that fucking stupid, audience? Really? You're going to trust a movie where everyone gets stabbed 1,700 times and they walk away scot-free like, I just got stabbed a couple times, even though it was like, gah, 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 gah. Nothing happens. Nothing. Whatsoever. No one dies. The only people that really die in this movie are, quote-unquote, the bad guys. None of the main characters die. That literally takes all the suspense out. Now, notice that kind of with the Scream 5 as well. I think the only characters that died were good people or white people. I noticed that as well. I know we're trying to do the whole thing is like, we're changing course with all the black people dying first, but now it's all the white people dying first. And the same thing with this one. All, white people die, and sure, and all the bisexuals and the gays stay alive. It's like, and then, seriously, if you're going to get stabbed that many fucking times and stay alive, just stop. Just stop. And that's my biggest thing. I don't care if you get stabbed or not, who you are. The story was really stupid too, connected to the 5th one. I think Scream 5 and 6 are atrocious movies overall, and the unrealistic ability-ness of those is just laughable. Number 4 is the most basic superhero movie of the year, Blue Beetle. This does nothing new. This is the most simplistic storyline, the laughable storyline. No one knows how to fly a spaceship ever, but I guess I'm going to fly that spaceship just like that. I'm going to tag the spaceship in 30 seconds like that with one can of spray paint. One can of spray paint can magically fucking show 5 different colors. Sure, why not? And them going to this building to get this mysterious key or whatever they have to do because it is so guarded. Well, I'm just going to walk in and grab it and walk away. Really? That's the heavily guarded building? Really? Yo, Blue Beetle is for basic-minded people. Actually, the next one is for more basic-minded people. Number 3, Barbie with the 88%. What makes it even worse for the SAG, or if Team America calls it something else, Barbie gets stunt ensemble. So you're saying Barbie is on the same level as Mission Impossible and John Wick. Now, I'll even put Guardians of the Galaxy up there. Barbie is on that level? Okay, not talking about that. This movie is for basic-minded people. I got into Facebook arguments with some people at this one because they were saying, like, Barbie is so smart. Because I hated the fascist joke. Made no fucking sense. And people were like, well, Barbie is so smart that she's just so an intelligent person. How the fuck would she know where Italy is? How would she know what fascism is? How would she know who Mussolini is if she's been stuck in the Barbie land for her whole entire fucking life? And when you look at the Barbie map in Weird Barbie's house, they can't even draw it correctly. Please tell me how she would know that. The dialogue is so fucking clunky, so stupid. Yes, there are some funny elements with Ryan Gosling. He's the reason why I watched this movie. But yeah, there are some cool, cute elements in this movie, but the Mattel board, just the whole idiots. I hate this scene where they're all jumping across cubicles. I did not like this movie whatsoever. I do not own it. I probably will never own it. So overrated. How the fuck is this getting so many Oscars? Because people are basic. Basic bitches that own iPhones is what the Barbie movie is for. Seriously. This next two are gonna piss off a lot of people, and I don't care. It's my video. You can downvote wherever you want. Snicky poos. Past Lives is number 2. I've seen this movie twice. I tried understanding why people cried. I'm trying to understand why people enjoyed it. I don't get it. This shit doesn't tug on emotional heartstrings. What tugs on the emotional heartstrings is Society of the Snow with the Survivor's Guild at the very end of the movie. That makes me cry. Cancer, that makes me cry. What doesn't make me cry is a guy from South Korea knowing his love of his life back like 15 years ago is married now, but he goes to visit her in her homeland to try to reconnect. You're doing that for someone in my comment section, he said it perfectly. He did it for 2 reasons: to break up the marriage or try to get her back to South Korea. Doesn't happen, and at the very end she cries, and it's a soy boy. He's like, oh, it's okay, even though I was the love of your life. Yo, you haven't seen each other in 15 fucking years. At a point, let it go. There's points, let it go. You're both still alive. You both have fantastic lives. You both went separate ways. Yes, have I fucked up relationships? Absolutely, for being a bitch myself. But I ain't gonna cry about it because you know what? They're living a fantastic life, and I am not gonna go ruin their life. Past lives, yes, you might have a past, but this is something to let go. And I don't understand why this movie is being held on so fucking tightly. I just don't understand. Now, like I said, I've seen it twice. Doesn't do nothing for me. And number 1, with a 99%. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. No. I watched it in theaters. I felt uncomfortable watching teenage girls wanting their periods. I'm sorry. I'm a dude. It was so uncomfortable. It wasn't for me. Yes, the Kathy Bates storyline was funny. Rachel McAdams did a good job. But this is a 99%? I'm sorry. Didn't work for me. I understand, yeah, I am not for this audience. Maybe, like I said, Past Lives I'm not the audience for. Blue Beetle I might not be the audience for. Barbie might not be the audience for. Scream 6 might not be the audience for. Sure. But like I said, it's my opinion. And Are You There? It's Me, Margaret. It didn't do anything for me. I've seen so many more coming-of-age stories that work differently. And just this one, I want to say it's mean-spirited. But at a point, I'm like, this is not for me. I kind of feel uncomfortable watching this. I shouldn't be watching this. I don't want to watch 13-year-olds get periods. So, that is my overrated and underrated movies of 2023. Do you agree? Disagree? And if you do, congratulations. At a point, I don't care. But at a point, I don't care because you know what? You have a different opinion than me. I have a different opinion than you. And you know what? That is fucking fantastic. And I truly mean that because that is what makes the world go round. Is we shouldn't be checking people off in a box. And if you check off that one box, that you don't like, get the fuck out of here. That is where we are going, and that terrifies me. If you're like, Chase, how dare you not like Past Lives? I cried. Good for you. Seriously, I'm truly glad you cried. I'm truly glad you liked the movie. I didn't like it. Like, people like in the comments and other movies where they're like, well, I really enjoyed this movie like anyone but you. I'm seriously glad you liked it. I didn't like it. Barbie is the one, though, if you give it 5 stars, that's where I'm like, you have an iPhone. You have an iPhone if Barbie's a 5-star movie for you. So, thank you for watching. Chase Sock here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think Bluetontopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And seriously, peace and love. Enjoy life. I love every single freaking one of you, except if you give Barbie a 5 stars. I'm going to have to question our friendship.